Hi, I'm Pamela Mtanga and I am your host. This is my audio journal. So, what's the question today? What? Navigating friendships in your 20s, 30s, or whenever you feel like life has just begun. That's how you're navigating friendships in your 20s. That's what we're talking about today. I'm super excited to bring this topic in because I think as a person existing with other people, whether it's family, a significant other, and most especially your friends, makes it the most special thing you can have in life. And today we're just going to tap into all of those topics that kind of surround navigating friendships in your 20s. Think about how your career has just started. Think about how you're finding your feet in terms of your career. Think about how you're finding your feet in terms of just love, and so many other things. And then comes this beautiful thing, something that could turn ugly, that is friendship. And now you have to navigate that thing while still kind of journeying through life. It sort of feels like companionship, but on a really fun level, and most of these friendships can last you for years, and some of them are for a period or for a season in your life. And I think it's only fitting that I call in one of my friends. I think you can run in. I'm so excited. Welcome, Luyanda. So this is not going to be an interview because she really is my girl. She my girl. She my girl. This is Luyanda, Mrs. K.
Darling. Your boyfriend chick. Yeah.
So, Luyanda, today we're talking about friendship and just the concept of just having someone to do life with outside of your partner. And I think what's really beautiful about you in your life is that you have a child and you have a husband. Ooh, how does that feel?
Talk to you.
And when I met you, you weren't all those things, like a wife and a mom. So let me be selfish and be like, in the back burner. We don't know them. Let's talk about friendship today, but also navigating friendship in your life right now with those things. Because when I met you, you didn't have one of those things. And now, I want to talk about that stuff.
It's such an interesting topic, friend, and thank you for having me, friend, and friendship. It rhymes. And I think it's such an important topic as well because I think at this age we're consumed by many things. Like you said, career, there's husband, there's kids, there's aunts and uncles, and there's just generally family. And now there's this extra part of your life where it became so easy before your 20s. And I think the older you get, it's one of those relationships that you have to put in effort.
Yes.
So it's kind of like work.
Oh my word. I feel like with friendship before, it was just like your friend is your next door neighbor or your varsity friend. Like, so banana every day. It's like a thing. I'm gonna see you every day. It ain't a thing anymore. Yeah. And I think the more you move into different cities or different parts of town, you can't even do sleepovers because some people are married. But I personally don't like sleepovers, so it actually works out. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Why?
That's also another thing, actually. I think when it comes to adult friendships, for lack of a better word, is that there needs to be that understanding. Because they take offense. You know what I mean? So understanding your friend, the things that they do, their life, their background as well is also quite important. So it is a full-time job, but I think it's such a beautiful concept.
Yes.
When you do it right with the right people that understand you. We specifically don't talk every day.
Yes.
I think we've tried without saying it. Actually, let's speak at least once a week. So I'll call
every time we speak. True. That's actually true.
We speak like once in a week or twice if maybe somebody has an event or engagement to check in. But I think it's such a beautiful thing because you're in another city. What are you doing this week? How are you feeling about work? And we sort of encourage each other. So I think understanding where your friend is actually in life as well also helps. I know it's separate friendship, but my work always comes in as a career coach. Yes. I speak about this as well when you navigate your career and you look for mentors, coaches that these things don't have to be physical nowadays. You can look at Pam and be mentored by her in a virtual way. So friendships are like that as well. You don't need to speak every day. And I think how to maintain friendships has evolved, like careers have evolved. And you just sort of need to find what flows and works for you.
What flows in your friendship. And I think another thing you mentioned is being intentional and putting in effort is really important, because I, for one, every time I'm in Joburg, because I'm between Joburg and Cape Town, and I think I'll get into...
I mean, that's fancy. We can't let that pass.
I'm between the two cities for a couple of reasons that I will delve deeper into in more episodes. But for me, I think just living that dynamic life was really important for me. So there's a part of my life that is a huge part of my life that's in Joburg, and then in Cape Town as well. But every time... And also, like, when I come here, I have to make sure that all the work that I'm doing here gets done. So I'm sometimes 2 weeks in, 2 weeks out, but scrambled like this. But every time I'm here, she's literally the first one to say, coffee, lunch, this, because she's very intentional. And then the other day she was like, we must try bar. We must stop meeting up for coffee. And I was just like,
not buy my drinks.
Yes, buy as in BARRE.
Raise the bar.
Raise the bar, yeah. So she was like, we should actually do that and stop meeting up just for coffee and eating. And I think for me, either way, whatever happens, I really appreciate the time spent, because I think sometimes when I'm in Cape Town, I kind of feel like, yes, I'm getting the leisure, the beauty of the city, and trying to figure life out in a different setting and make my life interesting in a different way.
Yeah.
But I do kind of like when I'm here that I connect with someone like that.
Yeah.
So for me, it doesn't have to be bar. It doesn't have to be
anything.
Can be anything, as long as I can see
Christmas
you
together.
And we spent our first Christmas together. That was so exciting.
Guys, the friendship is serious.
This is a serious manje. So we spent Christmas together. We spent Christmas together, and I don't even remember how this idea came about. But
we're
also,
both going to be in Joburg. We're both going to have a plan.
Yes.
And we're like, let's bring it together.
And
let's
also our idea of a tight budget. There was gammon. First of all, there was 4 types of meat, okay? It's a different type of, the budget is tight. No, please, man. But the budget was tight. I think a couple of days before Christmas, I also expressed that my family is not big, firstly. It's my mom and her 4 kids, that's including me. And of course my stepdad, but my stepdad just likes to do his own thing on Christmas Day. He does his own thing. And then there's her family as well. So we were just talking about, what are you doing on Christmas Day? What are you doing on Christmas Day? How about we just do something? And she's like, no, I'm thinking of hosting at the clubhouse, at my place and whatnot, and perhaps we can do a joint thing. I was like, I actually kind of like the idea. And then I was like, I should probably ask my family, because my mom is not that social of a person.
But who would say no to me?
Exactly, because I went and asked my mom. She was like, yeah, sure. And then she asked my brothers. My brothers asked her about the Christmas Day shindig up until Christmas. So the next day she was like, we're definitely going to the Christmas thing with your friend. And it was so beautiful.
It was so lovely. I want us to talk about, obviously on social media, there's this huge cancel culture.
Yes.
And unforgiveness. Which I think, because we deal with a lot, I don't know, I've just got empathy towards us as adults in our adult life. Because this is also something new that we're navigating. Yeah. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you were in a predicament about forgiving a friend or being forgiven by a friend? Yeah. The different stages of grieving a friendship as well. Like, how do you navigate that? Because I think as adults, we go through that one a lot.
Can I leave? This is the part where I quit this podcast and just like.
Have you ever given up on a friend?
I think this. Firstly, people in general are really busy with their lives. They're navigating their lives, and unfortunately, there is a part of you that has to be intentional and not accept the excuse that someone is busy, or accept that, or I'll see you when I see you, or except just not keeping in contact,
Of
you know?
course.
So for me, I don't necessarily have to see people every day,
Yeah.
or I don't have to see you every month, you know?
I mean,
Because
you're
initially,
the superstar in the friendship.
I
So we need
know.
to understand.
No, it's more like I don't have to see you all the time. Before it used to be like I need to see you often. You
Yeah.
know, like stop talking to me over the phone every single day. It kind of gets me frustrated. Now I have to stay on the phone for an hour. But now I appreciate those phone calls because it's an hour of me getting work done.
Yeah.
I'm washing the dishes, cleaning up the kitchen, and doing all of the things that I need to do, right? So over time, that's what I came to accept, right? When it comes to friendships and the fact that it's going to be digital, it's going to be virtual, we're going to accept that,
The world
right?
of work. What did I
Exactly.
say?
However, it does get to a point with some people that if you don't call, they don't call. Or people have their own friends that they would actually rather put in that effort with.
Yeah.
So I would make an example. This is not you, but let's make an example. Like you're comfortable with calling me every second week. And I should be okay with that friendship being on surface level. But when you need something on a deeper level from a support perspective, you want me. However, on a daily basis, you're spending time with Praise.
yeah.
Now, Praise is on the other side because she's the producer and she's also our friend. Powerhouses and stuff. Yeah, so, but on a daily basis, you're willing to spend time with Praise.
Yeah.
You know, and you're making an active effort with Praise to kind of make time to see each other, you know? And I think for me, that's not fair.
Yeah.
You know, that's not fair in friendship. And to elaborate on that, I have found myself in situations where I also feel like a certain type of friend is you look at me like you're gonna be like, are you gonna talk about it?
No, you keep.
No, I found in certain situations where you look at a certain type of friend and they have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Initially, I don't want to lie, because you guys, I'm an extroverted introvert, but Luyanda is an extroverted extrovert, you know? So let me tell you guys, she's the type of person you'll think is friends with everyone, and we're sort of cautioned against people who are friends with everyone. But Luyanda is not friends with everyone. She's just like, she has friends, and I think it's only in the past year, 6 months to 8 months. Yes, I think 6 to 8 months that we've also like deepened our friendship, where it's just like we're actually friends,
and nothing was said. It just happened organically. Yeah.
Yes, because I do think like it's very important to establish that. So for me, like the thing of a friend having a lot of friends, that's where I kind of pull back. And a lot of things aren't said, or I also don't feel safe addressing things with you where I feel like, oh, you're friends with people who don't like me, or you're friends with people who are maybe popular, and I might tell you something and they will get out there in the world, you know, or people may use you to get to me, you know, so through me that some other people can have access to me.
And we've seen that a lot. What is the right, like, angas, my systems, my friendship, man.
Yes.
If somebody doesn't like you,
Yeah.
can I befriend them or not? And maybe friend is not the word, because
Yeah,
I don't think that I could never allow a friend of mine and you being my friend not to be okay without
Yes,
making
yes,
effort, right?
100%.
But when Zenjani in a space where uzwana nomuntu they're your friend, but une link nomuntu ongazwani naye. What is that the girl code
Okay, I think
when it comes to those things?
No. I think you should answer this, and I'll tell you why. There are a couple of people I can think of who kind of feel like, Cam, and you get along with them, and vice versa. You know, I can think of someone you don't get along with, and I'm just like, I'm cool with them, but we're not friends. And I think it's not okay to inherit beef. Because how about they're actually gonna get along at some point and you're gonna be left there, you know? So it's just like keeping it like, hi, I see you.
I see you. It's a bit tricky, but I think the biggest
But not be friends.
Yeah, obviously not friends.
Oh.
So So the biggest lesson that I think my brother has taught me as I've been navigating friendships is that because I've got a good heart, if I can say so myself.
Yeah, you do.
So ngiyabathanda abantu, and even if we may not be friends, but I will treat you like a friend, right?
Yes.
And I think because I've got that, and I also think it is a people-pleasing element to me.
Yes.
I do find myself getting burnt a lot, or I found myself previously getting
Yes.
burnt. But now I think I'm a mom, I'm a wife, like if I didn't give
Yes.
so as it is, I will not get myself into,
Yes.
intentionally.
Yes.
And I don't, not that I don't care, but I don't care to please everyone nowadays. I'm okay with
100%.
somebody saying akazwani nami for whatever reason,
Yes.
if I means that I had to save Pam as my
Yes,
friend.
100%.
So the biggest mistake that I've made is that because I've tried to make so many people happy in a situation, I end up losing the person that I'm supposed to back up. So now,
yes.
ngizokuzwana, but if you come for Pam,
But I appreciate that because I
Yeah.
think we've had situations where you don't get along with a certain person for whatever reason, and I'm still cool with them, not friends with them, but I'm still cool with them, and vice versa. And I think for me that's very mature because you did it first,
Yeah.
and I was like. But like I actually, when I look at it now, I'm like, that's very mature of you. And I actually like that quality because inheriting beef is really not the way to go. And also you just never know where that person is going to kind of influence what you get in the future. Now you can't
course.
get a certain job because
Hey,
now
and
you
this
inherited
world-
beef
yeah.
that wasn't even yours.
in this world, guys, you can't step on people's toes.
Yes,
Yo.
yes. And especially if like sometimes the beef is not that like thick. It's just like we really don't like each other.
like I'm a beef slices.
Yeah, sometimes
soft.
it's just slices, and now you're inheriting slices of beef. So you
It's so
don't have
silly.
to. You actually don't have to. But I think another thing is like, I think I want to delve deeper into like forgiveness and in friendship. I think I find it hard just in general to forgive people. And I think sometimes I do forgive, but at a distance, and I don't address this. This is how you've actually made me feel.
Oh, she does.
I don't address. No, but I had a situation today. There's a situation I was facing, and I was literally trying to remedy the situation, and she was literally like, "No, don't do that. This person has done you wrong in this way. I'm not saying you're right or whoever's right, but it deserves a conversation. Don't just leave it there to sort of make the other person feel like you are right
quick
and
to fix.
Yes,
and
I'm
she'll
quick
find
to
a way to fix. And I'm
yes.
like, don't put a bandage
Yes,
over
I
it.
put bandages
Yeah,
over
don't
things
put
sometimes.
flowers over that hole. No. Let's water the soil. Let's plow it. Then once you plant again, it will grow organically. And I think
Yes,
that's
true.
what I was trying to sort of show you, Guti. Allow yourself to feel what you're
True.
feeling, without trying to say, ish, by saying this, I've made you feel bad. Now I feel bad for making you feel bad.
Yes.
People must feel bad, Nji. Sit in your feelings.
So people must feel bad for whatever they've done.
Yeah.
People must feel bad for whatever they've done to
And
you,
that's
they
a process
must
of
own
forgiveness
it.
because at the end of the day, cut it off. I
Yes,
say we will
100%.
speak about it. You guys will
Yes.
still be friends. I'll still clap for you guys. I'll still smile at you guys because I want
But
you guys to
address
work
it,
things out.
yeah.
But I also want you to show up in that friendship as your truest self.
Yes.
Ungabi walkover.
Don't be a walkover. And I think that's what it is like. And also I think what you're saving yourself in a way because there may be a time where you and I are hitting a brick wall where now like you don't agree with something that I've done or vice versa, and we have to talk about it. But now since I'm so used to putting flowers over stuff or to putting a band-aid, I'm not then addressing whatever is supposed to be addressed, and it sort of feels like it's gonna work itself out, and then it doesn't.
That's true. And I think another thing that I wanted to mention is that, guys, friendship is like every other relationship.
Yeah.
I'm a boundaries. I forgot.
Yo,
Because
there's
I think
boundaries.
sometimes with friendship we excuse it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm having my boundaries. People must not know
Yes.
where to sort of get off.
Yes.
People must not feel entitled. No, there must be boundaries in friendships as well for it to be healthy.
Yes,
and I think
true.
our friendship it was
How did
within
we become
boundaries. Bas we share Instagram.
And then-
Sazwana, saqala kuma DM.
And
Because
then-
we're girls, I think we've supported each other's work.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I can't remember the first time we met.
But ngikwazi ukuthi ubusa birthday yami, my 25th birthday.
Me at your 25th birthday.
Yes, Rock Nation. Guys, I feel hostile. And you came there in a pink suit.
Ooh. And I remember like myself and Praise taking, she was wearing something blue.
Yes.
I was wearing something pink. You were wearing something white.
Oh,
You were so hot. And I guys, actually, I would like to publicly say this. I hate it when people at birthday parties, just because I'm a speaker by profession, they're like, oh, can you speak from the friends?
But sometimes you must show off with some Ganako celebrity when they take
No, guys, I'm gonna ask you.
Hey, flex.
Guys,
my name is Pamela Mtanga.
Guys, I can't believe she was like, who's gonna speak for friends? Pam. And then now everyone's like, Pam. Oh, it's just like, ugh. Guys, because outside of work, genuinely and
you're so shy.
generally, I am so shy. So now you're just
You
like,
should have
I'm
spoken at
a
the wedding.
speaker. Huh?
You should have spoken at the wedding.
Oh, that's why I am. Oh, and also, guys, I didn't go to Luyanda's wedding. I actually want to know how you felt, because I know you were so happy with the solution that I kind of came with.
Guys, Pam is such a good friend. Let me tell you. No, I think I'm at that stage where I don't internalize things that I don't need to internalize.
Okay.
We are busy, and I know the line of work we're in. I would never rob you of that opportunity and that bag for you, because I know that's your 9 to 5. It's like somebody saying, I couldn't get leave. There's nothing that we can absolutely do.
True.
But people try and find ways to show up. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So, and she showed up. And so the praise, even though why did I get something? I give praise. No, guys, they still my very good friends.
Yeah.
And I've got,
But you also always find ways to show up.
Yeah.
I think for me, it was like one of those things where initially I was willing to miss work. Like her birthday, or her wedding rather, was on the day that Brutal Fruit Spritzer was hosting the big Joburg event. Like, they literally said,
they amplified it just
you should have
that
missed,
day.
you can miss all of these events, Pam, but not this one. And it was on the same day as her wedding. So initially I was like, not coming, Brittle Fruit, find someone else. So after like deliberating so much, it was like, and Brittle Fruit, I was like, Pam,
Are you sure? Because we
can
gonna
you please speak
replace
to your
you.
friend? No, I said, they're like, please speak to your friend. They're like, please speak to your friend, you know? And then I sort of just like spoke to them, and I was like, okay, cool, this is a solve that I'm seeing. And then they were like, okay, cool, we're happy if you're happy, but we've been looking for someone to replace you for this particular event. But because we've been working with you on this series in this year,
honestly, on that
we
big
wouldn't,
one.
yes, it wouldn't make sense then to just take you out of the last event. We'd have to then have stopped, you know, the entire year. I was like, okay, cool, you know. And we obviously had the solve of possibly going in that week of the wedding, but even that didn't exactly work out, and we worked out another solve which actually worked out. And I think for me, I don't want to lie, more than the wedding, I had FOMO for the week. Guys, on Monday they are grocery shopping. On Tuesday, they are slaughtering a goat. On Wednesday, they are doing traditional dances and everything. And I was just trying to be there.
And Pam actually thought that Imakaya was close to Durban, and that's why she couldn't make it, because it's 2 hours away.
Yeah,
The
so on
admin
top
a
of just like
car.
landing, it was still gonna be a drive.
Yeah, it was too much admin, and I think it was such a big gig for you.
Yes.
We had to both stay where we were.
Yeah.
To be like positioned to where we were, so that we would show up as our best selves for the day. And the beauty about photos, videos, those moments is that we both get to experience.
Yes.
So
And literally a week later, you were like, Pam, don't worry, I'm gonna be in Cape Town. I'm gonna tell you everything. And you did.
So yeah, guys, I think understanding where your friends are is quite important. And I think once you go in there with, you know, a lot of empathy and that understanding, you will just go into a different level of, you know, friendship.
I think what I appreciate about our friendship is that it's free of social media pressure.
Yeah.
Because I remember us bumping into Karabo Didi, and she was like, you guys are friends. And I'm like, girl, 3 years or so. And she
Even
was
counseling.
like,
At
in fact,
church,
good.
actually.
She was like, good, you know? And I think it really does free us of that social media pressure of, why haven't they posted in a while? Are they still friends? Why didn't she go to so-and-so's event? And all of those things. And I think of questioning also the fakeness or genuineness of the friendship, because also with some people, they're actually friends because it benefits them from a social media perspective, or also just the collaboration is just like, oh, seeing a duo is much more exciting than it is seeing a single person. And obviously people coming together on social media means that you're getting their followers and they're getting your followers as well. So sometimes it is a business transaction, or just like who looks good in a section with you.
Oh,
you know,
it's giving mean girl energy. Wasn't changing now. And one of my friends, I influence that. So I think more than anything, we need to realize that behind social media, behind lenses, it's actual people.
True.
So can people be allowed to be involved in fallouts? Can people be allowed to experience different seasons of friendships? Because it happens, guys. I find it quite sad when you find that somebody would be posting something, a moment, a milestone, and then you get people asking, and it's not a bad thing, I guess, because maybe sometimes it comes from a genuine place, but I think there needs to be empathy around what has happened. Is it okay? And we know, and I guess people always say that when a celebrity, you open yourself up to this thing. I don't believe it, because I also think behind you being an MC, behind me being who I am, I'm actually Luyanda. I'm my mom's child. You're your mom's child. You're somebody's sister. So I think navigating and using social media with the intent and heart to know that it's actual feelings and people on the other side. Secondly, we go through various seasons of our lives where things will change, right? And we must be allowed. Imagine me if I had to come through the phone there and ask you, there might be friends that if you didn't post them on social media, now or things haven't worked out and we don't get to ask you about that. So people are actually living their lives. But I think in navigating that, it's back to that empathy and just understanding that izinto ziyashintsha, and just like how your life evolves, you grow older by the day. There are friendships that you will outgrow, and you might find that you still have love for each other,
but from a distance.
Or you might be going through something and it requires a distance, but in the background, you guys are actually texting and fine, and you're okay. So, social media, danger.
Yes. I think more than anything, it's just understanding that certain relationships, friendships, or even the intensity of the closeness really is for a season, and that is okay. I think don't beat yourself up about the fact that, oh, I fell out with this person, we were supposed to be friends forever or whatever. Just pray about it. Just be more accepting of the fact that perhaps it was for a season, but always seek to be good with people. I think for me, it's now, I'm now at that stage where I really want to be good with people, even though perhaps they hurt me or I hurt them. It's just like, how can we get to a point where we're good, I can see you and just be happy for you in whatever stage of your life that you're in. And it is quite a process to learn. And I think more than anything on the social media, what's most dangerous is when people come on social media, they start fighting. You would find that Luyanda perhaps didn't want to retaliate, but because now you have an audience, you're gonna be like, oh, actually, your husband left, right, center. And then Pam, actually, I don't like you when you're naked. Actually,
I think the new rule actually is like anything that you want to protect and you want to see grow, if you can minimize it off the screens, I think then you should.
Yeah, you should. I love that.
And a lot of people have been doing it lately.
That's beautiful.
There are people that don't show their families, their kids, not because it's not their family or they don't love their kids, or they are shaming their kids, because that's what you guys think. But it's just because they want to protect them from these things that occur.
That is so true. And I think in closing, because I think we want to wrap up our thoughts and kind of just give you some words of wisdom and some knowledge, but also you can share some with us because we are journaling in this audio journal. So in closing, what's in question? I'd like to ask you, are you investing in your friendships, whether it's through effort, it's through time, it's through resources, or it's just with your presence. And what would you like to bring to the journal?
Tina, asikaze sihambe international trip siqhama bikini. So the friendship is like, but
Yeah, you and your friend, do you go on international trips?
that's what people are doing now. I was social media on Kata.
Okay.
But anyways, I think more than anything, guys, just be empathetic. I think in adulthood, we are all just trying our best. Always go back to look at your friend's heart posture, the intent, because I think that will always help you to say, let mistaking impela.
True.
And that's how you'll always know what is their heart posture. I know deep down she would never intentionally do something to hurt me. So always refer back to that and protect your people.
Thank you so much for joining us, because I think usiyaphethe manje.
No seriousness, no better.
I love it.
Cooks a good
It's my favorite. But you know what? I'd like to say, guys, one thing about Luyanda, but I want to say you're such an awesome person to be around. So driven, so beautiful in your spirit, and I hope our friendship continues to grow in honesty and vulnerability, and just like you let me in and I let you in ways that we can never imagine.
Aww.
That was scripted.
Ah!